this is Via of Projects by Via, and this is another art studio vlog. This time, I will make handmade papers. And meron akong ginawa na dapat pala inumpisahan ko yung cutting of papers last few weeks, pero hindi ko siya ginawa. So, I am stuck with cutting papers at this point, day 1. So probably I will spend the entire day cutting the papers and preparing it for soaking later tonight until tomorrow and sa next few days. Ayan.
Kahit hindi ko siya ginawa noong una.
Ano pa? I will just make few trial papers na EP4 try ko lang if magagawa ko siya, if kakayanin ko siya, if marunong pa ba ako. Ginawa ko na to before nung bata pa ako, but nung super bata pa, mga childhood days yan. Pero ngayon na lang ulit after a long time. So yan, nagawin ko yun this week. So trial muna tayo. I will finish cutting the papers. And then I also made remember sa last videos, episode 2 I think, yung episode 2, I wanted to finish painting the blank pages ng mga watercolor journals ko, and I again did that. I started with the Fabriano naman. Nababagot na ako, so naisip ko, iba na naman, para iba naman. So, ayun nga. Yan, and then I also make custom illustration. Meron akong custom illustration. And stay safe, guys. It's ECQ again here in the Philippines. So, stay safe and always. And this is my kwarto / or aka art studio vlog. Art studio kasi dito ko naman ginagawa yung aking mga creative stuff. Yan. I think good start na to for a pulp siguro. Wala kasi akong shredder, so manual lahat. Tapos inisip ko if magbe-blender ba ako or manual ko din siyang gawin. Ano ba sabi ko kanina? Handmade papers, diba? Wala naman sinabing bawal bawal machineries. Anyway, siguro hindi na muna ako mag-blender. Try ko muna yung hindi blender ang gagamitin. So, may mortar and pestle ba kami? Kung ano na lang makita ko sa bahay. Mamaya, check out. So, ito muna. But I will still continue the cutting of all other papers since mukhang tutuloy-tuloy ko na to eh. Umpisahan ko na ng unti-unti. Tapos nilagay ko na din dito yung ibang shredded, manually shredded papers. So, 12 na I would rest first and then do other things. So, ko na to mamaya. Hellerps! So, we will continue the handmade papers. So, technically, this is the third day of the week, but it's the second day of the handmade papers. As you can see, sinok ko na siya. Siguro 2 days na. 2 days na siya. And I am pretty sure that this smells bad. Medyo mabantot yung smell. Although water lang naman yan, pero we have to take note that there are a lot of other stuff that's in there. May buhok pa nga. Hindi ko alam kung makikita niyo, pero may buhok pa siya. So, may mga chemicals yan ng ink, ng dirt, probably. Pero, tinakpan ko siya. Pwede namang hindi takpan. Pero, tinakpan ko siya dahil ayoko magkaroon ng alam mo yung anong tawag dun sa baby mosquito, baka magkaroon masama pa sa pulp. So today what we're gonna do would be do the pulp. So hindi ako magbe-blender, gagamitin ko ang kamay and kamay ko kasi handmade yan, sabi ko, diba? So kaya iba naman yung lighting. So, I wouldn't be able to do it here inside my room. So, what I'm gonna do would be, I will go downstairs and do it in the garage. So, laundry area, garage. Basta doon sa baba. tapos ang ating paper making today. Naka-press na siya. Cold pressed. Medyo fail pala yung decal ko. Anyway, magdi-DIY na lang ako ng decal next time. Tapos, I am so happy, at least nagawa ko siya. Merong mga learning points siguro na parang kailangan pala inayos ko yung decal dapat. Anyway, gagawa ako ng DIY in preparation for the next few handmade, homemade papers, recycled papers. Pero so far, I'm happy with the texture. I'm happy with the output. At least meron akong nagawang recycled papers. And it's good for journaling. At least it has texture. It has this wonderful... Oh, hangin na naman. So, yun. I'm happy. At least, nagawa ko siya. Konti lang yung mga nagawa ko. Maraming mga, learning points. Dapat lalagyan ko ng glue. Kaya nga dinala ko yung glue. Pero hindi ko nadala yung glue. So, instead of glue, ang nilagay ko kape. Kasi akala ko mag-amoy kape siya. Parang hindi naman siya maamoy kape. Or baka kailangan mong idikit yung papel. Check natin ulit mamaya. Kapag, or tomorrow na lang. At least 24 hours na nakapress siya. Dry yung area. So, gagawa ko ng mga DIY stuff nun. Pero baka hindi this week. Baka mga susunod na mga weeks siguro. Pero, at least, achieve ang paper making. Yung unang magandang paper. Damn! Nangyari, nahulog siya. Tapos nabasa. As in, hindi na siya, mabantot na siya. So, hindi ko na kinuha. Baka itatapon ko na lang na maayos kapag nakuha ko na siya dun sa So, yun. Cut out the katsa. I still have katsa there. Gamitin ko yun. I was able to make 6 siguro? 6 or 8. 8 papers out of the scratch papers, mga scrap papers ko. Achieve. Mag-aaral pala ako. Nakalimutan ko may pasok pala ako mamaya. Oh my God. Ba't ba nakalimutan ko? Gumising ako ng aga para lang gumawa ng papel. Amazing. Hellerps! So, we finished the handmade papers. I didn't really check in for the last few days. I didn't feel like doing a check-in. I just got really tired and I needed to rest. So I let the papers rest for a while, and I actually I tested the paper itself. It's pretty thin. I hope you enjoyed my process. I have 7 steps. First was to, well, hoard the papers. Second was to cut the papers. Third was to soak the papers. And then fourth was to disintegrate the papers. And then the fifth would be the actual paper making. And the sixth would be, or the sixth and the seventh could be in one stage. The first one was for the drying process, and then the last would be the press. But you can integrate both. Some key learning points that I learned while I was doing it. So this is in a way my pabaon. It can be done. Kaya gumawa ng papers na hindi gumagamit ng blender. Although may go signal naman, pinayagan naman akong gumamit ng blender ni mama, I just still opted not to use the blender first, but I probably use the blender next time. Baba. You can also use meat tenderizer, but I decided, kasi wala kaming mortar and pestle. So, ayan. Wait nga, isa-isa natin. First would be the hoarding of papers. If you have scratch papers, you don't want to throw them away, you don't know where to put it, how to dispose it, or you want to use the papers that you already have, then you can use the scratch papers and make a paper out of it. And plus points kapag mahilig ka mag-journal, magagamit mo yun. The second would be the cutting part. Yung cutting part, actually pwede mo siya gamitin or gawin before. But in my case, ginawa ko siya within the week that I was supposed to do, or I am gonna do the paper making itself, or the proper. Tapos, pero pwede mo siyang gawin before. Cut mo lang siya, and then if you are medyo yayamanin or meron ka na naka-invest ka na ng shredder, or meron kang access to any shredder at hand, pwede mo gamitin yung shredder. Basta cut it at the smallest piece as possible. For the third part, which is the soaking, gagawin mo doon ay yung rule of thumb, or yung golden rule would be, the thicker the paper, yung makapal na GSM, the thicker the paper, the longer you have to soak it. But I just think na hindi mo siya dapat isa-soak more than 2 days. So, yan, hindi mo siya pwedeng i-soak na matagal kasi magfa-ferment na. The fermentation of the paper would start, and it would really smell. Yan. It would really smell. So, kasi makapal yung paper mo and gusto mo siyang i-soak pa, pwede mo naman siyang pigain, tapos lagyan mo ulit ng panibagong tubig yung paper, yung paper pulp, tapos yun, then soak. Tapos for the fourth step would be the disintegration process. The disintegration process could be done manually, with the use of a mortar or pestle, or anything na pwedeng pandukdok, meat tenderizer, pwede din siya. Kapag hindi na ginagamit, just make sure na hindi na gagamitin with food, or separate yung gagamitin mo. Then, if gusto mo ng finer pulp, blender. Gamit ka ng blender. Pero don't make sure na magpaalam if it's a family blender, or if you wanted to really invest in say a blender for paper making process, bili ka na separate. Don't use it for paper and then you're gonna use it for food. That's not advisable. Kasi i-ingest mo yun so that's paper, madumi din yun. So yun, old blender, I think, old blender before you use, or second hand ba na makikita mo. But I don't suggest. Pwede naman kung hindi ka naman in the long term nagagawa ng paper or para side project mo lang siya. You can make do with the mortar and pestle and your hands. Pwede. Ano lang, siguro the longer you do the grinding and then the mortar and pestle na or meat tenderizer, ganon, or anything na pampukpok, pampadel, anong tawag dun? Basta, the longer you do it and then you use your hands to manually disintegrate those papers, photos, yung sasabihin, those papers na hindi nag-split up. So, manually mo siya. And thing about the paper kasi, if you're not able to do that, especially if it's just manually without the blender, may matitira talaga, as you saw earlier. May matitirang parang mga pages or strips pa na hindi nasira or hindi na disintegrate. So they're still there. Now, for the paper making process, yung actual paper making, yung gagamitan mo ng decal, ang hindi ko ginawa doon, wala akong ginamit na sponge. Dapat nag-sponge ako noon. Kasi, yung sponge would help instead of using the katsa. Kasi I use the katsa, diba? So, instead of using the katsa, you can use sponge or any cloth that's more absorbing. Yun. So, meron pala akong sponge dito na hindi ko naman ginamit. So, sana pala ginamit ko yun. So, the decal was fine. Initially, sabi ko, hindi siya fine. Kasi dapat gagawa ako ng panibago. Pero, okay pala siya. Ang ginawa ko sana dapat is, kasi nasa baba yung decal ko, sana, hindi ko muna siya finlip over. While it's still wet, I should have placed it there first and then tried to dry it out with a sponge before I flipped it back dun sa katsa for drying. So, yun, if you also know any other way that works best, kasi marami naman tayo siguro na naka-experience ng paper making during our school projects. Let me know in the comments down below. And then for the press and the drying process, I tried also the hanging one, and the man and then the flat surface. Yung hanging one was okay. Thing about that was I underestimated the fact that I did the hanging process outside. So it's very windy. Since it's very windy, mabilis siyang natuyo at sobrang init that time. Mabilis siya natuyo and nahulog siya. At nasoak siya dun sa basa, and then hindi ko na siya magagamit. Madumi na yung paper. So, for the press, yun, I just used the book method. So, wala naman ako pang press. But I think I will be doing a lot more papers pa. So, I might consider bits by bits or slowly invest on machineries or equipment as well. So, it can be done. You can start with smaller projects muna with your paper making process, and then eventually you can do the bigger ones, the more grand, or the grander things. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something out of it, and if you tried doing your own handmade papers or homemade papers, let me know. And if you already made it, let me know your story. What are the things that you learned from the process, and what are the tips that you might be able to give me in my future paper making journey. So thank you for watching this video. Happy Easter, since it's already Easter. And happy Sunday. Yes, stay safe everyone. And also, if you have some projects you want me to try out as well, and you think na I can do it, or you want me to do it first before you wanted to do it, tapos noisy naman ang style, let me know at gawin natin yan. Subukan natin. See you on my next video.